Okay, thank you for joining me. For folks who joined me here, my name is Jason Skinner. I am with a company called TopAdmit. We're primarily an application admissions essay editing and consulting firm. And I'm here to talk a little bit about my company and also generally about communication techniques, which I hope will be helpful for you even as you're going into the MBA tour and talking with admissions reps in just a few moments. Now, to tell you a little bit about myself, again, my name is Jason Skinner. I'm general manager of a company called TopAdmit. I grew up in Austin, Texas. 我也住在台湾很久，可是不好意思，我的中文没有那么流利，so I'm going to speak mostly in English. But I have spent much of my adult life here in Taiwan. I spent over 10 years in Taiwan's financial industry, in fact, as an equity analyst and editor and project manager. Yet all along I've had a strong interest in higher education and edutech, especially because I got my own MBA. And working from Taiwan, I applied for an MBA and went through much of the same process that I see candidates here in Taiwan going through. Even though it was a little bit a few years ago or more, much of the same concerns, much of the same challenges I'm seeing candidates facing as they also start their own study abroad journeys. So I've always had a long-standing interest in how best to help and mentor younger people who are going through much of the same thing. And so I've moved to this field, and my company is called TopAdmit. We're the most innovative online service for admissions essay editing and consulting. Now to tell you what about our company, we were founded in 2009, so we've been around for a while, and our purpose is to provide college and graduate school applicants with lower cost but high quality editing and critiquing, much of the same value that you would find working with an agent or consultant, but it's much more able to control your own, go at your own pace, and if you are a little more self-driven, an online service like ours is very appropriate. We cover admissions essays, scholarship essays, resumes, CVs, recommendations, any type of written material you'll encounter during the application process. And the thing that makes us different is that we're easily accessible online. After you upload your essay to topadmit.com, all of the essays are returned within 48 hours at a very economical price. And you'll receive not only the best in professional native level editing and restructuring of your essay, but also a page of critique and assessment of your of the unique program that you're applying to, that's on par with the advice you've received from any Ivy level consultant. So this is a picture of our website, www.topadmit.com. And we have, obviously, in Chinese, also in English and several other languages. So we're designed to be, we're based here in Taiwan. We're a Singapore registered company. We're based here in Taiwan, but we have a worldwide presence. And we serve customers all over the world as they apply for undergraduate and graduate school. So, I think I know what you're thinking. I think you're thinking, well, isn't it a little bit early to be talking about admissions essays at this point? You're just now probably considering about whether or not to get an MBA, or thinking about what program you'd like to apply to. That's your purpose here in February to be attending the MBA tour, most likely. So why worry about essays, this whole topic right now? It's still early. First round deadlines will be for several months. You've got a lot to do before then, preparing for your GMAT, talking to your boss, lining up your recommenders, saving up some money perhaps. And if you have looked at the programs that they're applying to, you'll notice that there aren't so many essay prompts these days, perhaps one or two, and they're quite open-ended. So how hard can that be, really? And it's an undeniable fact that 70 to 80% of your admissions chances at a given program will be determined by your quantitative performance. Numerical factors like your GMAT, the months spent in your career at any given job, your university GPA, things that you could easily find on your resume. Why think about essays? Why is this something that's topical for you right now? Well, my response to that is it never hurts to start reviewing your communication skills, because even well before you think about a written essay, much of the same skills and techniques that you can apply to that, you can also start preparing and using in your day-to-day life, even within your career, even as you're talking to recruiters at the MBA Tour in a few minutes. Fact is, you'll need to represent yourself to the admissions committee or as to representatives of the school as an individual, not just a set of numbers. And the reason for that is what you're doing right now is you're entering a competition. There are a limited number of slots at any given program, especially the top programs, some of which you may be talking to right now. And there are many candidates out there from all over the world with much of the same, superficially, much of the same profile that you have. Same kind of GMAT score, same kind of GPA, number of years in the workforce. So that, it may be a smaller percentage, but it's still a critical factor. How are you going to use that additional 20% of the admissions decision factor to your advantage to make you stand out from the crowd? As far as the essays themselves go, don't be fooled. The essays are fewer in number and more open-ended, but that means that you have more of a choice, and much more is going to be riding on what you decide to write about, the story that you choose to tell. And so it's going to be much more determined about your communication skills. And most of all, if you can think ahead about the story you're going to tell when you do finally make your applications to school, then you'll be ready to talk in the months beforehand about yourself, even verbally. Now, what do I mean by that? When would you be telling your story, talking verbally? Perhaps in a job interview, at your next presentation at your current company, during your next performance review, at a cocktail party. Anytime you're asked, so tell me about yourself, it doesn't hurt to review your communication skills and what is it that you ultimately are going to be wanting to say about yourself. So in a moment, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about a very powerful technique for communicating your experience and your purpose. And this is something which can be applied either verbally or in written form. And I'll be talking about that in just a moment.